What up, people? It's your boy, and welcome to another episode of Just My Opinion podcast. I don't know if this is episode 8 or 9, but nevertheless, I'm the best, and we're about to get into it. Now, this has been on the news wire for quite some time now, and I was thinking about doing a video on it when it first broke. But guys, you know how I am. You know how I am. Okay. I like to get all of my ducks in a row. I like to make sure all the I's are dot and the T's are crossed. You guys know that I rather just wait a minute uh instead of being the first one out there to report it or the first one out there to talk about it. But nevertheless, we're about to get into it. So breaking news. You want to say this is belated breaking news or late breaking news? By all means, go right ahead. But Jalen Rose has divorced Molly, and I always butcher her last name, but I always butcher people's names on a constant, regular basis. You guys should be well aware of that. You guys should just simply just go with the flow. But I'm gonna try to pronounce her last name, but if I butcher it, you guys know. All right, it's Molly Qerim. Um, they've been divorced for like almost a year, and and news got out about their divorce when Jalen Rose talked about it on his podcast, and they've been divorced for quite some time now. Um, if you look at the evidence around you, you pretty much figured that there was something going on in their relationship because Molly has dropped Jalen Rose's last name on her social media handles, as well as when they introduce her. Um, she's been without the ring for quite some time now, and they just gone their separate ways. Now they only been married for like 3 years, okay. And I remember talking about this on my older YouTube channel. I don't even know if I still got the video up about them actually getting married. All right. And I talked about how they sort of rushed into it. Okay. It wasn't like it was this long courtship of them knowing each other and being involved or being in a relationship for quite some time. Now they pretty much rushed into it. Uh, and I said in that video, I believe I posted that video 4 years ago. I talked about that, and I also talked about how, um, that's not built. That relationship is not built on solid ground. I mean, you guys barely knew each other, and then you guys said, "Well, let's just get married." Okay, I felt like those two should have spent a little bit more time separate before they actually made it official of being married. I have nothing against people getting married. I think marriage is a wonderful and beautiful thing. I think everyone should be married, but I just felt like they should have had more season between them two, and get to know one another a little bit further. I'm pretty sure they thought that they already knew each other. They knew enough of them of each other. They knew their aspirations and things of that nature. They've been dating, so why not? Well, let's go ahead and tie the knot. Okay. Now, a lot of people on social media, as well as several articles, are pointing to several different scenarios on why they're no longer married. And one of the reasons is a lot of people are blaming the pandemic. The pandemic is undefeated when it comes to marriage. Okay, the pandemic is like is like 43-0. It has not lost a battle yet. Okay, it's undefeated out here on these social media streets, and everyone is. That's the first thing people throw out when they release their press statements. Due to the pandemic, they're no longer married. And a lot of people are blaming this about Jalen and Molly. Now, even though the two have never stated that it was the pandemic, other high profile couples such as Kim Kardashian and Kanye blame the pandemic because, and during the pandemic time, a lot of, the world's pretty much shut down. Everyone was working from home, and you got to see your significant other a lot more than normal. And the pandemic, a lot of people are blaming the pandemic on that factor, spending more time with your significant other. I thought spending more time with your significant other should enhance your marriage, okay? Not the opposite, okay? But, nevertheless, that's what everyone's blaming the pandemic. I think it's more to it than that, but everyone wants to blame the pandemic. Another thing a lot of people are talking about, and a lot of people are speculating, is the fact that, Jalen was really not very supportive of Molly in her professional career at the worldwide leader of sports, ESPN. There have been several times where Jalen pretty much left, if you want to say this or imply this, that Jalen left Molly hanging on a lot of things, wasn't very supportive in her. We can go as recent as Ball, Alonzo Ball, when he was on First Take and said some very controversial things to Molly. And Jalen didn't really have her back, didn't really fought tooth and nail for Molly, and pretty much left her by herself dealing with that ordeal. A lot of controversial things she said on First Take rub people the wrong way, particularly people that have been fans of First Take since the day one. And Molly and I forgot the word they use. She's supposed to be the moderator. Molly, as the moderator, does a bang up wonderful job. However, when Molly steps outside of her moderator role and wants to insert or input her opinion, her thoughts, wants to input, wants to address certain subjects that Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman was doing. When Max Kellerman was at First Take, she would intertwine into their arguments, and sometimes it made for great television and great entertainment. But more times than not, a lot of fans of ESPN and particularly of First Take, has grown very weary and tired of Molly doing that, and they rather prefer Molly just be the moderator, just just be in the middle, make sure that they don't stay too long in topics. Now, to me, I had no issues with Molly doing that. I mean, folks, when you're at a job, and this is a job, you would like to suggest or place your input into the job. You're just not going to simply just punch in and just be a robot or a mannequin and don't add more to the job other than just doing what you're supposed to do. We're all human. We when we go to work, if we see something or if we think that something could enhance the performance of the job or make the job run smoothly or better, or if you have concerns about the job, you're going to release your input and your criticism about it, your opinion. And that's what Molly was doing at First Take. I had no issues with her when she would sometimes go off the rail and want to interject in certain topics, that's fine. Okay. But a lot of people were turned off about that. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of people feel like ESPN is struggling in ratings because of that. That's one of the reasons why ESPN is struggling in ratings. Okay. That's another thing. Now, the third thing I've heard through the grapevine, and this is all rumors, I'm not sure if this is true or not, but now they're saying that Molly and Stephen A. Smith are supposed to be dating one another. All right. And people are also putting their detective hats on, thinking, well, maybe that's the reason why she called it quits on Jalen, because she probably has spent a lot of time with Stephen A. Smith and they have grown accustomed with one another. And maybe they have grown something romantically with one another. And to that, I say, I don't really think so. I think, I don't think that's true. And the reason why I feel like it's not true is because I just don't see Molly and Stephen A as a couple or as a perfect fit or as a fit. Now I could be totally wrong about that, and I'm happy to be wrong. Okay. But I don't think, and I also feel like Molly and Stephen A morals and how they perceive themselves on and off, on in front of the camera and away from the camera. I just don't see them doing something like that, because in order for that to happen, okay, you would have been courting Molly while she was still married to Jalen Rose. And I just don't see Stephen A as that type of individual. And I just don't see Molly that type of woman that would allow something like that. Okay. I'm pretty sure before she got married and when she got married, her DMs were smoking. I'm pretty sure there was a lot of high profile actors and athletes, executives that hit her DMs when she was married and before she got married and when she got married, of trying to get at her. Okay. And I just don't, if she would have, if she was that type of person, she would have already taken debate on a lot of those other high profile. I just feel like there's a lot of better. I feel like Molly would wait before she gets herself involved into another relationship. Okay, so I feel like the reason why they no longer are together, I feel like Molly was really focused on her career. Molly wanted to be more than a moderator. She wants her own TV gig. Now, I remember a long time ago when um when oh my God, when Skip Bayless left First Take, and everyone was talking about, well, who's going to be the replacement of Skip Bayless? And I remember doing a video on it, and there was two names. I had 5 names on there, but there was 2 names I knew for a fact ESPN was looking at. One was Jalen Rose. The other one was Max Kellerman. And I felt like the Max Kellerman pick of mine was wild at best. Okay. And the reason why I chose Jalen Rose as a replacement for Skip Bayless to debate alongside Stephen A. Smith is, one, he was married to Molly, or was involved with Molly, and 2, they had great chemistry on the set. Even though they they don't agree on a lot of subject matters. They disagree a lot, and I felt like that would have made better television and better entertainment while having an adversary on the other side of the desk that don't agree with you 99% of the time. And the reason why I felt like Max Kellerman was a stretch, Max Kellerman wanted to be a likable guy. He wasn't that type of guy that would disagree with you just to be disagreeing with you. All right. And I felt like a lot of Max Kellerman's opinions were in line to what Stephen A. Smith thinks. Okay. And I just felt like, though, out of those, the 5 people I named, I felt like those 2 right there would have been better fits to replace Skip Bayless. And I also talked about how Molly, like I said, would go. What Molly always wanted her opportunity. She wanted her day to have her own show, her own podcast, something of her own. Okay, other than a segment. And she's really involved into her career. Now, you've seen other women surpass Molly, who may been on First Take here and there, got their own show, got their own gig, got their own podcast, making more money than Molly, and doing it at a lesser rate. Okay, Maria Taylor. Okay, despite what you think about her, her career is shining a lot more than Molly. Okay, there's a lot of women out there that's in the sports entertainment or sports media that's doing better than Molly. Molly has had the same gig for like over 10 years, and it doesn't look like it's going to change anytime soon. Not to mention the fact Molly has aspirations of her own show, of doing her own thing. So when I heard that they was going to let Stephen A just do First Take and have different guests, like Michael Irvin on Monday, Tim Tebow, I believe it's on Wednesday or Friday. I forgot one of those 2. And then, you will have substitute guests during the week. All right. I thought they would allow Molly to debate against Stephen A. Smith on their slow rating day. Maybe add a spike in the ratings. I thought that ESPN would probably go that way, and they never did went that way. And I'm pretty sure Molly thought that as well. So Molly is really is really about her career. She really wants to do more. She wants to do more than just be the moderator at First Take. She wants to do more. And since she's been she spends her ever waking moment and all her energy on her career. And Jalen Rose is the type of guy that strikes me as he wants a wife to stay at home. He wants a wife to stay at home, not necessarily worry about a career, but more about family, taking care of family, taking care of the kids, making sure the kids go where they need to be going, make a dinner. And Molly does not strike me as that type of individual. Molly thinks about career first, and everything else is second. I'm pretty sure Molly is a great wife, but the things that make a stay-at-home wife shine better than Molly just don't have those aspirations. Okay, so I felt like I feel like it's a 2-parter why they no longer married. One, they married too fast. They really didn't get to know each other fully. They never really went through any ups and downs as just a dating couple. And it was just pretty much going through the process while they were married. And after 3 years, Jalen saw that Molly cares more about her career than just being a stay-at-home wife. And I'm pretty sure she done told Jalen Rose, even through the beginning, that she was not going to be a stay-at-home wife. Okay. And Jalen Rose strikes me as an individual that wants a woman like that. Okay. And there's plenty of women like that. It's just Molly just wasn't it. Okay. And then I felt like too why the marriage suffered was Jalen really did not have her back on a lot of controversial things surrounding Molly. And that was a huge turnoff for Molly. Now, Jalen, you probably, if you look at it through Jalen's logic, he's probably thinking, well, if she grows weary and tired of ESPN being a moderator and going through all these situations, she'll probably leave ESPN and just focus more on being a stay-at-home wife, which that's what Jalen really wanted. So it's not to say Jalen didn't care anything about Molly. He just did not he just wanted Molly to be more than just worrying about her career. And I feel like Molly is looking at it at her career going like, man, the same stuff I'm doing when I first got the moderator gig at ESPN, I'm still doing that. I can do so much more for ESPN. Molly has to understand that ESPN don't perceive her that way. And the only way she's going to do more or be more is she has to have another entity or another network say, well, we'll let you do what you want to do. Similar to what Maria Taylor is a talented, a beautiful woman who had aspirations of making Stephen A. money. And when she threw that out there in the atmosphere, a lot of people thought it was dumb and delusional and stupid. But if you look at it from retrospect, what she was saying to ESPN is she really wanted to leave ESPN because she knew that they would always keep her doing the same stuff 5 or 10 years down the road, and she wanted much more. It was Maria Taylor was looking at it as she wants a new horizon, and she doesn't and the money isn't the main issue. It's not the only issue. She wants to go to a network where they're going to put her in the best light and listen to her and allow her to be her. And with Molly, yes, the money is good with Molly and all, but at the same time, she wants aspirations of doing other stuff besides being the moderator at ESPN. There was one more thing I was going to say, but I forgot. I apologize. My mind runs a mile a minute. I'm sorry, guys, but I had to get the basic stuff out of the way. There was a conspiracy theory I had in my head, and I was going to share it with you. It didn't have any basis of being factual, but it's just a thought, just throwing it out there. But yeah, so to me, I don't see Molly and Stephen A. Smith in some type of relationship. I don't see that. I do feel like Molly is thinking about career first and relationship second. And I think she's going to be single for quite some time now. She's not really trying to get married anytime soon, but she wants she just wants what ESPN just simply does not want to give her at this particular junction of her time over there. And yeah, that's it, guys. That's it. I was trying to think of that one thing I was trying to think about, but like I said, I was just throwing it out there. And it's one of those things that, it really has nothing to do with why I did this live stream, but I'm just gonna just throw it out there for you to entertain you people. And you know, I had it and I just lost it. But nevertheless, that's fine. Like I said, I don't think her and Stephen A are an item. I also feel like the real reason why her and Jalen are no longer together was a multitude of things. I think it has little to do. Jesus Christ, it had little to do with it had little to do with man, I lost my train of thought. I was looking, god damn. Okay, I got distracted, folks. I got distracted. I'm sorry. Yeah, it had little to do with the pandemic. I don't think the pandemic is the reason why you know, they're no longer a couple. I just think a lot of people use that pandemic excuse, that pandemic argument, to blame something. You know, I feel like when it comes to relationships, the reason why a lot of relationships fail is the people in the relationships that are involved in relationship. When you don't spend enough time getting to know each other before you get married, that can hurt your relationship in the long run. I feel like you have to really know one another before y'all take it to the next stage of marriage. And a lot of people, the value of marriage, I don't think people understand the true value of marriage. I feel like people marry people, they care more about being taken care of or financially stable. You start hearing terms like that. I don't. You rarely hear the reason why we're married because we love one another. I feel like the longest relationships and why they're still married is they love one another. Okay, they are emotionally tied to one another, not financially. Now, financially, it helps, okay, but it just can't be the only. It can't be the numero uno on why y'all are together. Okay, so that's all I got for this. I just had to throw that out there. And I felt like I got my point across. Guys, I really do appreciate you checking out my videos, my live streams. I will see you guys on the next one. It's your boy. I'm up out of here. Deuces.